Okay, so I just wanted to quickly hop on since I actually have about 10 to 15 minutes of quiet house here right now. I've got a Facebook and a YouTube live both going at the same time here. Um, so I just wanted to quickly pop on and talk about the upcoming Purple Plan that is supposed to be coming out as part of the new hashtag MyWW on November 11th. So, um, and I really wanted to talk about the conundrum that comes with it because, as someone who's actually enjoyed freestyle for the most part, I've done pretty well on it. I found, I think, with any of these plans, when it comes to not free foods, but 0 point foods, like you got to find a couple at a minimum that really work well with you. And I've done a decent job on that with freestyle. Basically, the turkey, the chicken, and all that has been good. So, part of what I'm really excited for, there's three things I really like on the purple plan. And on YouTube, Suki Loses It says hi. Hello to you as well. But I love potatoes and I don't eat them a whole lot. Even though I didn't track them on freestyle, having seen a copy of the leader's guide for the UK flex plan before it rolled out, the whole reason potatoes weren't tracked was strictly psychological, not physical. It wasn't that they chose for physical scientific reasons to not count it. They just figured it's a risk to be overeaten. So I figured if I didn't overeat it, then I was going to be absolutely fine. Once again, controlling my portions and not tracking it. And I really didn't track potatoes on there. Now, mind you, I didn't really eat them a lot. So that was sometimes every 2, 3, or 4 week kind of thing. So on the purple plan, potatoes, 0 points. I already do a lot of brown rice, 0 points. Whole grain noodles, I work those in and I track them, and now those are 0 points. Literally a couple of days ago at home, I had basically a 0 to 1 or 2 point day at home if I had been on the purple plan and was totally satisfied. I enjoyed some wine at the end of the night, and that was definitely points, of course, of its own there. But so looking at the purple plan, like those three things, those are three new foods out of the hundreds, the new 100 or so that are added onto that totally make me think I could really do the purple plan. Now, you got to look at it a little more closely because, of course, my brain always keeps thinking, everyone's pointed out, 16 points, 16 points, 16 points. Now, that's the minimum for the plan. I've never been at the minimum on any of the plans. The closest I got on the original Smart Points plan was I got down to 31, not 30. And I think I was at 24 if I was doing weight loss, which I've never been on weight loss on freestyle. I've been on maintenance the whole time. So I basically have never been at that minimum. Now, I don't know on the purple how they're going to do. Like, I'm going to assume right now I'm currently 2 points above what the minimum is on freestyle. So I have a feeling that on the purple plan, instead of 16, I'd probably be at least at 17. Just to start, I would be tracking on maintenance, which basically, from what I've been told, you get 4 additional points for maintenance on the purple plan. So I would probably have 21. So that's actually not that bad compared to, people who are doing 23 now at loss on freestyle. So especially if things I eat on a regular basis, like brown rice and the whole grain noodles specifically that I normally track, usually about 10 points per meal when I use them, would be nothing at this point. So the one part, though, then that really throws me for a loop is when you go out to eat at a restaurant. Because I do tend to like, when I eat at a restaurant, not having to pick and choose Weight Watcher foods. When I'm at a restaurant, a lot of times I do want to enjoy myself a little bit more than focus on that. And then I take the rest of my non-restaurant time to do the best job I can to balance that out. And usually that works, unless, of course, you have a week that you have just way too many restaurant things going on in your life, whether you're just running around with the kids or things like that. The other problem I have is I also work in a restaurant. I'm not going to name it specifically here. It does have a number of lower point options, but sometimes too, working in a restaurant and you have a 9+ hour day and being a manager there, I will let you know most of the restaurants you go to, the last person who stops and eats a meal is usually the manager. So sometimes I literally will run around for the 9 hours of the day. And by the time I'm done with that, I can be very hungry and I don't always eat the least pointed options available, especially if it's something where I'm making food and eating in the car on the way home because I just want to get out of the building and be on with my life. So those things tend to be a little bit higher. Still, it wouldn't take all the daily points that I have. It would just put a greater emphasis than at home, where I would have to, um, really focus on those items that don't count for any points. So once again, turkey, chicken, the rice, the grains, potato. There's a number of different things I can do along with that. And it would just have to be a greater focus on all my meals at home should I do that. Or I might actually have to plan, which once again, I hate the idea of bringing food from home to a restaurant because I'm working there. I get free meals. I like to take advantage of not having to pay for my own groceries to bring to work when work can feed me for free. But that might become something where I'm going to have to bring an item or two of my own with me to mix with the stuff that's at work to make things work, or just, focus a little more on salad options when I'm there versus sandwich options. Because where I'm at has soups, sandwiches, salads, quite plentiful amounts of all three of those. Um, and not all the soups are exactly point friendly. Once again, it's a restaurant. It's for the general public to enjoy more so than it is for me to eat healthy as a Weight Watcher. So I can't always just rely on low point soups, but I probably would have to lean a little bit more towards that, a little bit more towards the salads, and cutting down the sandwich portion of what I like to eat at work if I were to do that purple plan. So it's something I'm actually very excited about. I like the idea that, once again, it's coming out November 11th, which pre-World War II was Armistice Day. And in some ways, I feel a little bit like Weight Watchers is releasing this on that day with the green plan, the old original Smart Points Beyond the Scale plan, as kind of an armistice to the older members who really were not very happy when freestyle came out. I do think there's not just a slight coincidence to that. I'm sure it will never be proven or come out in anything like that. But I do believe that. So, but when that comes out, I think I'm also very happy that with the purple plan, and I'm not sure if they're going to have official names associated with these or not, like they're still going to call it freestyle, beyond the scale, or anything, or it's strictly just going to be the colors. But I do like the idea that while they're also reaching back to the past, they are looking to the future. They are doing what I like to refer the purple plan as the evolution of freestyle. Hashtag evolution of freestyle. Will let me hopefully be the first person to put that one out there. Because it's taking the idea of freestyle where if you can teach yourself to eat in moderation, the healthier foods, the ones that are easier and potentially better for your body to process, that is a lifestyle that, once again, a lot of people don't want to track every single thing they have to eat. There's people who love that. They need that control. And there's people who absolutely hate that. So it's a very interesting road. Weight Watchers has to kind of toe that line on both sides of the fence. And it's not easy. So I do like that they, once again, have this evolution of freestyle where they are sticking with the low protein, the lean proteins, the beans, the turkey breast, the chicken breast, the big giant list of vegetables, fruits, the eggs, egg whites, all those different things that are already part of freestyle, but taking it to the next level for people who really want to eat a cleaner, healthier, diet of that nature. People who are extremely upset that Simply Filling was taken away, which from what I understand, it was used so infrequently on the app that the data didn't support them keeping it. that the purple plan, if you really work it hardcore with those 300 items, in some ways it's close to a Simply Filling plan. But the fact that you have a minimum of 16 dailies so that you can have some amount of daily points, because on Simply Filling, you had 0 daily points. It literally was nothing. All you had were weeklies. Now you have the 16 dailies, which once again, you could use them all. You could use 5 of them just to work in healthy oils, healthy fats, things like that, that are not going to be part of those 300 0-point foods. Things that are still healthy, but they just have points associated with them. Like people are going to be upset that avocados are once again not making the list. But as many people as you know that love avocados, you kind of could tell there's a good chance that, similar to the potato, there are people who avocado becomes a 0-point item. They're going to have 12 avocados a day. How long that lasts for, who knows? But that's I think the risk you see with something like that. But you have all these foods that are no points. You can afford to eat that half of an avocado for whatever the point value is on that. On this purple plan. So, it's very much like Freestyle, the next generation, but it's also, I think it has that playability where you could make it almost Simply Filling, like the somewhat long distance cousin maybe of Simply Filling, to where you can do it almost as a 0-point. Like, as I said, the other day, I had a couple meals and basically it would have been roughly a 0-point day for me. I chose to enjoy a little bit of wine at the end of the day. There's that. So, but as I said, my trepidation with also doing the purple is if you are locked into that for a week, that dining out at restaurants is a different story. You really have to look at those points a lot more carefully. Me working at a restaurant, I do have to look at those points a lot more carefully than I have been, even on Freestyle. Because with Freestyle, I've still had generally between 29 to 30 points every day to work with. So going down to where I probably would only have 21, maybe 20, depending on as I get a little bit lower in my range I'm at right now. So that leads to that little bit of, trepidation for me personally, wanting to attempt the purple plan. But yet I'm really intrigued to want to do it because, as I said, I love those 3 items that are on there, and it works along with then the other items I already like to use on Freestyle. And I think in general, that leads to a healthier, I'm not going to say I eat the healthiest. I don't have enough of the, what's the current thing, having the colors in your plate, the rainbow on your plate or whatever it is. I do take a multivitamin to kind of balance out some nutritional elements for me. But I think, once again, it's a healthier version of eating. So I'm excited for the changes that are coming on November 11th, when all of our apps are supposed to change, that I will definitely make sure at some point I do a 2-week trial with the purple plan. I will make sure to take a 2-week trial and go back to the green plan, just because it's been a while since I've been on it. And it, once again, is going to be a different mindset going, ooh, hey, I have to track that chicken. Hey, I have to track that turkey. Hey, I've got to track that corn. So it is a different mindset. I'm assuming that's probably what a lot of the coaches and the guides hopefully have been told to do in the month that they have before these unroll, not just to do the purple plan. So that this new plan that's out, they can talk to their members about it day 1, but I hope a lot of them are going back and doing a week or 2 on the green plan as well. Because once again, you have those members who will be coming back, because I've already heard from people, that have said, hey, you've told me this green plan's coming back. I might come back to Weight Watchers, even though I've left and gone away. So I think there's going to be a lot of those people, and it's going to be good for some of the newer leaders and coaches who are never on that plan to be able to have the mindset, I think, to, in a meeting, cover all 3 plans just as effectively and as quickly in that 30-minute time frame, with the questions that'll pop up that way. But that's really about all the time I have for today. I really mostly wanted just to cover the purple plan. Once again, my excitement, because those 3 foods that are on there, like I said, I think any of things like Freestyle or that, there's 300 items, but it's going to be really 5 to 10 that probably really make it an effective plan for you. And gives you the opportunity to make it as effective as possible. Obviously, you're going to use little bits of some of those other things here and there, but it's going to be the main ones that you focus on, I think, that really make that plan either work or not work for you. So I did have a quick question, just came up on the Facebook, the first one I had there today. So yes, there's going to be the 3 different plans. I'm going to quickly cover those as I'm close to having to go and get some dinner preparedness going on here. But there's going to be 3 different plans. If you've been around for a while, if you were on Smart Points before Freestyle, there's going to be a green plan, which basically is going to go back to the original 100-ish or so, basically all fruits and vegetables that are going to be 0-point items. The lowest daily point total is going to be 30 points. Obviously, depending on where you're at in your loss and if you're on maintenance or not, that's going to affect your points from there. There's going to be a blue plan, which basically is going to be freestyle as it is now, probably give or take 1 or 2 little differences in the 0-point list. And then there's going to be the purple plan, which I'm calling the evolution of freestyle. As far as I know, I don't know if they have a real name for any of these yet, or they're just going to be called by the colors. But that one's going to have a minimum of 16 daily points. Once again, depending on where you're at in your loss process or you're on maintenance, you're going to have something above that. And all of these plans are going, that one also has 300 plus 0-point food items. A couple of the newer ones that are on there are, it's more of your whole grains. And they've added like potatoes, but so you're going to have like brown rice and whole grain noodles, oatmeal, and some other things that way that you can work in. So there's a lot of variability that comes in with that. And all 3 of the plans, you will still have weekly points from what I've been told. And it's the same way they are now. So I currently have 42 weekly points. I'm assuming when the app changes, I'm still going to have my 42 weekly points. If you have 35 now, you're going to have 35. If you have 28, you're still going to have 28. So you're going to have that for you on all 3 of those plans. But as I said, this will be saved so people can go back and look at it. The main purpose, once again, the purple plan. I'm excited by it because I really want to do it. I kind of want to see how it works for me. And once again, I'm not going to be at the minimum 16 points. I'm probably going to be at 20 or 21, which kind of makes that work a little bit better for me. Yes, Judy. As I've been well known for saying, I think one of my other videos that I've done, I really wholeheartedly went out and went potatoes. So I'm excited that the potatoes are going to be on the purple plan as a 0-point food. So once again, you kind of have to know what your portion size is for yourself. I think one of the things when I start typing things up, I will talk about hashtag my portion size. Because once again, there's the official portion size. Then there's our portion size. It's what works best for us. There's what's on the container, what's on the box, what's on the can. At the end of the day, it's what's our healthy portion that fills us up so that we fuel our bodies well enough, but not to where we're overfilled. And then once again, packing the pounds back on because we're enjoying, a whole pot of mashed potatoes at 0 points, which, once again, that's plain mashed potatoes. You mix other things into them. You might have to point the ingredients. I usually don't, but that's, and each and every one of us has to look at our own best plan that way. But I definitely, yes, Tiffany, I want to pick purple. I want to do at least a 1-2 week stretch on it. The list is not officially out anywhere. I have seen it. I will not take actually any pictures of it or post any pictures of it. I'm just answering questions that people ask. Because once again, those are proprietary things that have leaked out that aren't really supposed to have leaked out. And I'm not going to officially leak pictures of anything. That way, if people want to say that they don't trust what I'm saying, that's fine. They can say that they don't trust what I'm saying. But I'm not going to the step of putting out a material that isn't really supposed to be out there publicly, that has been shared with me. So once again, you can question, whether what I'm saying is true or not, but at least from who I've talked to, what I've heard, what's been sent to me, I believe what I'm saying is accurate information. There's a number of other people, especially on YouTube, who have been putting out very similar information. And I'm assuming they're getting it from different people than I've gotten things from. So I do believe as a Weight Watcher #WW community, we can trust that. But as I said, I'm very excited for purple. I don't think that the items that are on there are things I'm going to abuse because I already know what my portion size is. I like to pre-make my 0-point foods to the size that I need them. I don't try to make a whole big giant batch of them and then, oops, I had too much. So a lot of times I do try to do it that way. But yeah, be very excited when it comes out. Once again, if you go to meetings or you're online, learn what you need to learn. Be willing to practice it, go into it. Of course, we're all going to make a mistake here and there. That's what we do in life. But yeah, and I would honestly say if you've never been on the green plan, the old Smart Points plan, feel free to try that one out, even though it may be something you haven't done before. Hi, Gigi. Nice to see you. A Weight Watcher coach from Ohio. If you've seen all the things for the Weight Watcher cruises, she is always one of the top-notch, super awesome Zumba instructors that they have on those. And she has an amazing Weight Watcher story. I believe she submitted it to the 2020 Oprah thing. And if they don't pick her, bad choice. She has a really wonderful story. She should definitely have a chance to go to one of those things. Yes, all of the things that are currently 0 on Freestyle Tiffany should not be changing. I think there's 1 to 2 additional things being added to it, but I don't think they're taking anything away. The blue plan is pretty much going to stay the same. I think that dog barking, though, that means that I think my family is about home from where they've been. So I do had a good time doing this. Those of you who just come on, I'm sorry I won't be spending more time with you, but you can go back. It will be posted and it can be watched. You're welcome, Gigi. You're awesome. You are a great coach. I know people who go to your meetings and they say wonderful things about you. And once again, I've met you. I think you're awesome and your story is awesome. And hopefully we will cross paths again someday. But before everybody comes in and starts making noise, I'm going to close this out. But I'm excited for the purple plan. Yes, I have some trepidation. All change in life has that. And I think at the end of the day, we're all going to figure out exactly what the best thing is that we can do. So YouTube, thank you for being there for the first live I've done with you. Suki, thank you for being there. Everybody that's been on Facebook, thank you as well.
You're under arrest for stealing my